Hi, welcome to Plan and Order. As we wrap up our homeschool year, I wanted to share a review and reflection on the third grade curricula we used. This video will break down what worked, what didn't quite fit, and what we'll carry forward into next year. My daughter is a kinesthetic learner, so very hands-on, very tactile, and I also work full-time, and my partner works full-time. So one of our main goals this year was to find a balance of independence and engagement. And I'm excited to say that I think that we mostly found it. So to kick us off, this is the planner that we used this year. And this goes over all the curriculum that we had planned out to use for third grade. And this is kind of the reference that we'll keep in the background so we can see what we planned on using and then what we did end up using. So we'll start with math. We planned on using math with confidence, and we ended up using math with confidence. We've been using math with confidence since halfway through first grade, and we've never looked back. We used to use the good and the beautiful in kindergarten and then halfway through first grade, and then decided we needed to change, so then we switched to this curriculum. We absolutely love this curriculum. It's hands-on, it's engaging, full of games, which is perfect for my hands-on learner. The movement and tactile elements really help her stay focused and retain concepts. And I also just appreciate that it blends mastery and spiral. All right, next is spelling. So for spelling, we used Sandra Bloser spelling connections, and this one was a big hit as well. She wrapped up 2 this year, and we'll be wrapping up 3 and then starting 4 next year. This one is very visually appealing, very easy to digest, and includes more than just spelling, like writing. That's their approach, is the word study approach. So what a unit typically looks like, and we usually do a unit in a week, is you have, whatever the unit is based on. This one is inflectional endings, ER and EST. And it always starts with the spelling words and then sorting the spelling words. Then you go into the phonics part, connect to reading, connect to writing. They have to find all the mistakes and fix all the errors, and I love this because this just reinforces what she's learning in writing when it comes to the writing process and revision. Then you have extend word study and then apply to content areas. And this is the same for every unit. It's the same. And so we love this curriculum, and we already have 4 on the way. And so we will continue to use this next year. For grammar and writing, we had planned on using Voyages into English 3. That's what we had actually used level 2 for second grade, and there was a pretty big difference in the second grade curriculum and the third grade curriculum. And I think that it would have went fine, but I think she also could have felt overwhelmed with as much as they tried to squeeze in to a year. So when we came across EIW, Essentials in Writing, this was perfect. Short video lessons followed by independent workbook time. It's a great fit for our lifestyle. Since my daughter can do it mostly on her own, and because there's a video element to it, so she can do this in the early part of her schooling while I'm wrapping up my work day. This just worked out perfectly. I mean, it's not overwhelming. Bite-sized lessons. She watches the video, then she does the workbook, and this has been a really big hit in our house. So the way that this it works is it's divided into 2 units. The first unit is all grammar, and then the second unit is all writing. And so basically we did unit 1, and then we paused from this curriculum, and then we would review and reinforce what we learned in grammar by using easy grammar. And we used grade 4, or not grade 4, we used grade 3. This is for next year. And we would use the sheets from easy grammar to just kind of review and reinforce. And that's why I like easy grammar. It's just really simple 1-page worksheets. It just tells me if she retained what she learned, especially because she is getting them in slightly a different format. And so if she can figure it out, then I know she really has the concept of what she was taught down. And then also we went over the grammar section of Michael Clay Thomas, and she loves Michael Clay Thomas. Like, she just loves it. We did Grammar Island. We both love this. The presentation and the fact that it's kind of story-based, very whimsical, just really drew her in. And she cannot wait to go over the writing portion of Michael Clay Thomas after we finish the writing portion of EIW. EIW, Easy Grammar, and Michael Clay Thomas. We will be using all of these next year as well. Big hits in our household. For reading, we plan to use the All About Reading program, level 3, and we use the All About Reading level 3 program, and we love this program. My daughter really loves this program. It's prep heavy on my end, but she enjoys it so much. The activities, I don't even think she needs to do them anymore. She nails the reading list every time, and I think she's outgrown them, but she loves them so much that I still, prep them, and she still does them just because, I'm not going to take away any part of education that she just absolutely loves. This year's literature lineup included The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Love this, especially with the Ruby Reads companion poster, and I will link this below. Highly recommend their companion posters. Basically, we listen to the read aloud and we color the poster, and the poster has you fill in the settings and the characters and that sort of thing. And then it also came with a giant paper doll of Edward Tulane, which, if you don't know the story, it's like a porcelain rabbit. And it's a story I don't even know if she would have really gotten that into if it wasn't for this companion poster. So huge hit. In fact, we already got The Hobbit, and I think the Chronicles of Narnia for next year. We got those companion pieces to go with those read alouds. But going back to this year, we did Sophie Mouse. I think it's called the Maple Festival. This was a digital book, so I don't have that to share either. And we did a teacher pay teacher guide. That one didn't really work out that well for us. Then we did The Witches by Roald Dahl. Both loved the story. The companion from Teacher Pay Teacher also felt more like a chore, more enjoyable than the Sophie Mouse one though. But we kind of struggled through that one a little bit. Not the story, the companion. And then we just wrapped up Wizard of Oz, and we loved this story. Another favorite, the Teacher Pay Teacher resource that I found, we actually really liked, and just finished with that. And so now the piece that we're reading is coinciding with one of our social studies lessons. So I'll talk about that when we get to social studies. The way that we've incorporated poetry into our daily and monthly rhythm is with Sing a Song of Seasons, a nature poem for each day of the year. So every day we go through and we read the poem that's associated with that day. My daughter absolutely loves this. This poor book has gone through the ringer. And then whenever it's a new month, we read whatever poem comes out of a child's calendar. Again, big hit into our house, and my daughter really loves these moments that we read these poetry pieces. For handwriting, we use Zahner-Blosser Handwriting Level 3. We both really enjoyed this curriculum. This is the curriculum where she started writing in cursive, and she seems to really enjoy it. And we already have next year's level. So big hit in our house, and we will be using it next year. Social studies is one of the curriculums that we ended up switching up. We were planning on using My World Savas curriculum, My World Interactive, and this one just didn't work for us. It felt too content heavy, not engaging enough, so we just stopped and we gave up on this one. We actually had stopped and started off and on throughout the school year just because it was an election year, and so there were other pieces that we wanted to use, and I had to time it right for it to be timed with the election and the vote and everything. And so we did do some of this. It's not a bad curriculum. They use it in public schools. It just was too, like, I don't know. It just didn't capture her attention. So we would just and then I tried to piece it out and do some parts of it. It just didn't speak to us. So we stopped doing this. And then in order to get this done in time for the election, we did put together this Homeschool in the Woods U.S. Election Slap Pack. She loves this thing. Again, very hands-on, very tactile. And so this thing was like a magical little cabinet for her to be able to experience all the little things. Now, granted, we didn't complete this this year. We went through everything, we read everything, but she needs to write what her foreign policy would be, and her economic policy, and her social policy. And I want her to be older when she does this to fully grasp what she's writing and what she's doing. And so some pieces we did not do, but we did go through and read everything. You have your little, behind the curtain, voting curtain, the oath for Inauguration Day. This is all the vocabulary. All these open up. Everything does something. This has pages you can flip through for, ads and stuff for campaigning. I mean, it's just magical. And so we spent a lot of time on this, and that's one of the reasons we stopped doing my World Interactive. And then we just tried to get back into it, and it wasn't working. So we switched to some Evan Moore history pockets I had laying around, because they were something that I wanted to get to last year and we never got to. And just like the lap pack, they're very hands-on, very engaging. Each pocket has a little theme, and there's something you learn about in the theme. So, you have the Mayflower and the content, like how the cargo is set up, some facts about it. And then, if she was to go on the Mayflower, what are the things that she would pack? And just very interactive. You have your vocabulary words. They have the images, and then the vocabulary words to go with them. And each pocket has these, different interactive pieces. And she loves these things. And so There's, about 3 of these that we've done. And now to wrap up our year with social studies, we're doing economic cycles by moving beyond the page. Sorry, my camera keeps focusing in and out. This is part of the reason I tried to do a voiceover video, my last video, because it's just so much easier than dealing with all the tech. The tech is not my thing. And then with this economic cycle, we're doing it alongside, where are we? Economic cycles, the family under the bridge. So this is the literature piece that we're doing right now. And I said that it kind of ties into our social studies, because the way moving beyond the page works is you always are doing a science or social studies piece alongside a language arts piece. So this is going great. She absolutely has loved this curriculum so far. It's very real world, very hands-on. She has to go to the grocery store and learn the difference between name brand and generic, and the pros of cons of buying, each, and what that could mean. Is it going to be different quality? Is it going to be the same quality but a different price? And so she just really loves moving beyond the page. So I always keep some moving beyond the page pieces in my curriculum cabinets just for supplemental reasons, just because we end up loving it so much. For history, we started with Story of the World. I love this program, and while my daughter doesn't hate it, we ended up setting it aside. We had other history projects we wanted to go through. I actually just covered those in the social studies part, the history pockets. And the curriculum that I'm planning for next year, we revisit a lot of these topics in a way that's better suited to her age. So I think that we just, paused on this, knowing we're just going to be recovering it again next year, and focused on the history pockets. I fully plan on returning to this curriculum when the timing is right. I just think when she's a little bit older, this will be more suited for her. But absolutely love this curriculum. For science, we use Blossom and Root, Wonders of the Animal Kingdom, year 3. I had really high hopes for this curriculum. It just didn't capture her attention. Despite living animals, my daughter quickly lost interest into this curriculum. I think covering just one topic all year didn't give us enough variety. However, I did pair it with some kits that ended up helping, and those were a big hit. So I paired it with, I think they're called Wild Environmental kits, and some 4D puzzles where you piece the animals together, and you get to see their anatomy and everything like that. And those really helped carry us through this curriculum. But we won't be going back to Blossom and Root at least next year. This just, it just didn't hold our attention. She did like the video aspects of this curriculum, and I love this curriculum. This is not a knock on the curriculum at all. I actually really like the curriculum. It's just not a good fit for my daughter or our lifestyle. Because if I didn't work full time, I think I could really make this curriculum work for her and shine. It's just not our situation that we're currently in. So basically, every week she would learn about a new group of animals, and then she would write a fun fact about them that she learned. And she always needed to do some sort of little art piece to go along with it. That's kind of what carried her through this. All right, so for health and life skills, we did Heart and Mind by Evan Moore, ages 8 through 9, and she absolutely loves it. We also read out of The Care and Keeping of You, book 1. This is also a big hit, and a really easy way to approach, things that you would need to know as you start to become a tween and on. And we try to do a section out of this every week. The Usborne Start to Cook. This is really pretty, first of all, but it goes through using the book, getting started, kitchen safety, and then it covers, the fruit and vegetables, pasta, potatoes, so on and so forth. And, my daughter really loves to cook. Again, basically anything hands-on. So big hit. For typing this year, we did a program called Typesy, and we both really enjoyed this program. She's been doing it all year. It's fun and it's easy, and it's something she does in the morning when she's doing her computer work and her independent work while I'm wrapping up my workday. Big hit. We will continue to use this as she continues to grow her typing skills. For art, we started using Art Everywhere. This is grade 3, and we liked this curriculum. This curriculum was good. We had no complaints about this curriculum. Really easy to digest. I mean, she can just read this textbook herself. Yeah, great curriculum. But we did find one that we liked more, and that is Artistic Pursuits. And this comes with some discs. So you watch a video and then you do the lesson. And we just like this more. It starts you off using watercolor crayons, so it already just feels more advanced with the materials they start you off with. And yeah, this is a big hit. And another reason that we switched to this curriculum is because the volumes going forward actually align with the periods of history that we'll be teaching next year. So it really kind of sets us up for 4th grade. So started with Art Everywhere, love this curriculum, but switched to Artistic Pursuits and really love this curriculum. And she just keeps all of her art in like a big spiral notebook that we get from Five Below. And, this is just where we keep all the art. I usually will write on, let's see if I can get this in the screen. I usually write on the back of the page the lesson that it was and what the lesson was trying to teach. Lesson 2, lines express feelings, landscape. Lesson 3, geometric and organic shapes, and so on and so forth. And then my daughter she's big on art, so she likes to doodle and trace and all that stuff. That's not even part of the lessons. But yeah, that is art. Lastly, we have Spanish, and we use See It, Say It, Flip Flop Spanish. And we love the Spanish. This is an excellent fit for our family. It's so open and go, and it's also so easy to take with you places. The fact that you're, teaching off of these cards makes it really easy to, let's say you're sick and you're in bed and you could just grab a stack of cards and just review them like while you're in bed. I mean, we absolutely love this curriculum. And it's very flexible, so it can be as rigorous as you want or as lax as you want, and it's kind of what we need in our lifestyle right now, just building up the foundations and everything like that. Huge hit. Basically, I have a video on this, so you can go through and see the flip through, but you have your lessons. They tell you which cards you're going to pull out. My camera will focus and be nice. I don't think it's going to focus. Well, it tells you what cards you're going to pull out, and then you would pull them out and you would lay them down. And the cards just look like this. They just have photos on them on one side, and then what they are in Spanish and in English, and then how to pronounce on the other side. Huge hit. Absolutely love this. My daughter's finally getting to the age where when she's laying out the sentences that the curriculum tells her to lay out, she can also write the sentences. So in her Spanish notebook, she will write the sentences that she's laying out. And we just love this curriculum. We will continue to use this curriculum next year. We are also going to add another curriculum on top of it, just for a little bit more reinforcement. But yeah, this curriculum is definitely not going anywhere. Huge love. So that wraps up the curriculum we did for third grade. My final thoughts. This year was all about discovering what works for my daughter's learning style and for our family rhythm. We gave ourselves permission to pivot when something wasn't a good fit, and we leaned into the resources that sparked joy, curiosity, and growth. I hope this gives you a helpful insight as you consider what might work in your household if you have an up and coming third grader. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. I'm going to try my hardest to keep up with it um, and just deal with the frustrations of technology. Thanks, guys. Bye.